Hello, dear friends, welcome to this evening's program. This RK Convention Center, probably some of you have heard about it. I'm seeing many new faces. I thought I will give you a small introduction to this. This we have completed 12 years and this is the 13th year. November I am completing 13th year. This is exclusively for this is a place for music, classical music basically. We are busy as many as 300 plus days in a year. We conduct, that means 300 programs in a year, mostly music, little of our art and culture, temple architecture, and little of literature too. That happens here, talks. I'm little open to all suggestions that come from people. So that's how Prasanna Ramaswamy called me one day that I want to do this. Anyway, she is not a stranger to all of us. Then I said, it's what better than I am a person looking for such things to happen. I immediately said yes, and whatever is to be done. And fortunately, we have the setup that is almost available to this. This was the only date they asked for it, and I don't know the reason for the date today. You may have a reason. But I always keep the Navaratri alone little free because there is so much of programs happening here. It is our, we all have to visit other places. That is one of the reasons I do it. And that is how it is. And the topic is something very close to my heart. When we talk of musical trinity, we only talk of the Tyagaraja, Daishthar and Syama Sastri. And he is always little away, though he is a contemporary to this period. We should appreciate the royal family for keeping the tradition alive. And they have done so much of work. If there is anything missing in Tanjore or other places, what is happening in our classical music, there is so much of reference available in their records. And she has done a great work and she has brought out a book. I have gone through many of these things. I have got so much from those books than reading the rest of the books. The history of, he only lived about 34, 35 years. And he was active probably from the age of 10 to 30 only. And last 4 or 5 years were not very active, our Swathi Thirunal. But amazing personality. I don't know, we have not seen a person in the last 2 decades, I think, such a great work he has done. When this is a program that comes from their family and someone is going to give a program on that, I was very happy. And with this few words, I think I leave the stage to the others. Thank you.
I always forget the most important thing, so let me start with that.
I think you need a mic. No, because we are going on live. People have to hear what it is.
Can I take this out? I can't get it.
No, I'll take it.
Always scared of low seating.
Oh, yeah.
Namaskara. I forget the most important things, so I will say it first. Thank you so much, Mr. Ramakrishnan. I think it was such a graceful manner in which he welcomed this program and he supported it at every point. And thank you, Vincent, who supported us with a preview. And thank you all for being here. And then we didn't keep it today with any intention. It just coincided with her travel. But then today morning we discovered something amazing. Today is the birthday of Shri Swathi Thirunal. So we felt so blessed. This morning really it sent goosebumps when we discovered it. I should introduce the main speaker of this evening. It's not going to be a speech. It will be something which I call Katha Prasangham, which will be storytelling mostly. Tiruvadira Thirunal, Rani Lakshmi Bayi Nalapat. We know each other only the last 12-13 years, I think. And the first time we met and we worked on a film together, a documentary, from that time I've been asking her to be part of my theatre work. The first work that I suggested was she plays Ruth from Paul Zacharias' Endundu Visesham Pilatose, that she kept on postponing. So then in the last 1 year we started talking about that she should do a storytelling on Swathi Thirunal, and suddenly in the last 2 weeks it came together like that. And we have Nandhini, Subbulakshmi, and Madhuvanthi, Muliya, Sreevidhya, because we put her name wrongly as Vidya, Sreevidhya. Nandhini and myself also, we met only this year early. She was part of a workshop by me on Natya Shastra, and then we became quite close, and we worked together in a play, theatre play, recently last month. And then through Nandhini I meet these two lovely singers. That's how art works and happens. My interest in Swathi Thirunal, one has listened to his songs, one has grown knowing that name, one knew about him as a king composer and somebody who recovered, Vallathol recovered later, but he gave a new focus and thrust or something to Mohiniyattam. But then the day he came alive to me, I was working as assistant to Sri Adur Gopalakrishnan in his film on Mohiniyattam, Dance of the Enchanters. And we were shooting in one of the houses of the women who went from here to Kerala. They call it Ammavide. So in one of the Ammavide we were shooting, and the song we were shooting was Panimadi Mukhabale, which is one of my most favorite songs. And I kept telling much before things were finalized, we should have this song, we should have. And this, I don't remember the name of the dancer, good dancer I suppose. The dance was going and we were shooting well into the night, and there was, Lata knows how the shooting location looks. There were so many machines and things. And there was light only on this dancer, and we heard this song. Suddenly his world opened in front of me that moment. In Tamil we have this saying, no? Thirai vilagiyadu pola. I knew what was so fascinating for me with Swathi that day. Because, and that day I understood what was this which was talked about him and these women who went from Tanjavur, the Tanjavur quartet whom he patronized, with whom he collaborated, who collaborated with him also. It is not just this man-woman thing. You know, as a theatre director, I always tell this to all our actors, and Anita of course, to dancers, to musicians, including Nandhini, who's the latest addition to our. Unless they are there to give form to my imagination, what can I do? So he wrote a lot on dance music, no? So he finds the form through these women. That must have been the great relationship. That, of course, this man-woman thing, of course, it happens everywhere with everybody. That's something else. So from that day, Swathi became somebody else. And every time we spoke about, she brought something new every time. Even last meeting, I think some months back, she brought something very important. She will speak about it. I won't give it away now. So I felt it would be great to listen to her speaking that story. And then these three lovely young women came together to support the whole evening through their lovely dancing and singing. So we are here to listen to it, see it, and also enjoy the music and dance. Yeah. Thank you. Please. Fix.
கொஞ்சம் சைடில் போட்டு எண்ணிச்சோம். ஸ்ரீ மகாகாளி அர்ப்பணம். Shri Swathi Thirunal Ramavarma. The way to call him is actually Sri Padmanabhadasa Swathi Thirunal Ramavarma. I am here to tell you the story of Swathi Thirunal, if you will. But then all of you know that every story has a backstory, right? And the backstory to this today's event is 101% Prasanna Ramaswamy. When I met her 12 years ago, maybe 13 years, so 2012 or 2013, she had come with Mr. Andreas Voigt to do a documentary on Sri Padmanabha Swami Temple Elephant Darshini. Darshini and I share a lot of things in common, not just size. She loved me, I love her. Okay? And I was watching from the side because she was filming me also. And I was looking at the amazing way that she brought alive the livelihood of the Mahavat, the Mahout. That is how the story started. So my deepest respect, love and thanks to Prasanna. And also my deepest thanks to Sri Ramakrishna, R.K. Ramakrishna. I must tell you one thing. Behind me there is a board which says Madhuradhwani. It is very aptly named because I've been talking to him for the first time today, and he's got a very sweet way of speaking. Also, my eyes are very bad. Okay, I'm short-sighted, so my ears and my nose are quite active. So I listen to people more than look at people. Unless, of course, you're a genius dancer like Madam Anita. I also believe that I'm a great believer in I call her Kali, you can call her anything. It is she who brought all of us together. Nandhini Subbulakshmi, I have seen her clippings from Prasanna's work, and these two lovely ladies. She's also lovely, okay. All these three lovely ladies, they're so excited. And when I see their excitement, I get excited also. Now to Swathi Thirunal. No mention of Swathi Thirunal will be complete without a reference to Sri Padmanabha Swami Temple in Thiruvananthapuram. The story goes that there was a great sage called Vilvamangalam. He lived in a place called Kumbala, and he was a great Vishnu Bhakta. There was a little boy who used to come, and 3-4 years old, who used to come and help Vilvamangala Swami with his puja. Used to pluck flowers, help him light the lamp, fill up the lamp with oil and things like that. Vilvamangalam loved him, and he evidently was very fond of Vilvamangalam. He was involved with Vilvamangalam's sadhana or puja. One day, you know what this boy did? He took a saligramam. Saligramam, as all of you know, is the actualization of Sri Mahavishnu. This boy took up the saligramam and put it in his mouth. Echilaki pannivita. Can you imagine? My God, there is a beautiful song. Emi Setura Linga, Ganga Utavu Chachinivu, where why are you so conceited? Shivalinga, even the Ganga water is also Echil, where corpses flow down. It's a beautiful song. If you haven't heard it, please hear it. And please hear it sung by Balamurali Krishna. It was like, yes. In Tattva, it's you'll cry when you hear it, okay. And so then Vilvamangalam got very angry with this boy. He said, how dare you? This is my puja. This is my idol that you're putting in your mouth. How dare you? And you know what he did? He just pushed that boy away. Pulled the saligramam out of his mouth. Just said, po. Just go. This is too much. I put up with your naughtiness, but this is really too much. And then that boy, he turned and he ran away. And as he was running away, he was a normal little kid to Vilvamangalam. But as he was running away, Vilvamangalam saw the Magaragundalam, he saw the Pitambaram, he saw the crown, he saw the jewelry. That is when he realized that, oh my God, that is Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu was playing with me. You know, I mean, I had him in my house, I had him in my sight, and this is what I have done. It gives me at least great succor to realize that even a person as eminent as Vilvamangalam has perfect 20 by 20 hindsight. We are all very good at the hindsight, but before the Paakaradhuk Mindi, he didn't do it, we don't do it. So it's quite okay. And then what he says is he ran after the boy and he said, where can I find you again? I'm sorry, come back. And then this boy says, Ini enne paakano, in Malayalam he says, Ini enne kaananengile Anandangatil varnam. So he doesn't know, Vilvamangalam does not know, he's not even heard of Anandangat. And see, if you have proximity to God at that level and you suddenly miss that, you go mad. There is no other word. Because you become like a Majnu lover, totally insane. There's nothing you want except get back. I want that proximity back. And then Vilvamangalam goes like a madman. He walks, of course, those days he walks. And he walks and walks and walks. And Kumbala is in the very north of Kerala. It is in Kasaragod. If you have not gone there, please go there. There was a beautiful crocodile, vegetarian, called Babiya. Babiya passed away maybe 6-7 months ago. 1 year ago. And she's absolutely plain. She used to let the pujari put the food in her mouth. Sadam. And please go to the temple because it's so peaceful. It's a temple in the middle of a tank. And however much it rains, the water level never goes higher than the steps of the temple. However, you have seen the Kerala rains, right? You've heard of 2018 floods. Nothing happened to the temple. Suttume jalo. But this was absolutely pristine. Then what happened? He said Vilvamangalam searched and searched and searched and searched. Finally, he reached Thiruvananthapuram, where present Thiruvananthapuram is. And he found this woman. It's a screaming kid. And she was saying, wow. Then she was like, shut up. And then she said, if you don't stop crying, I'll throw you into Anandangad. Vilvamangalam heard that. Anandangad. And he said, where? What are you talking about? So she was like quite surprised. Some sage coming in all excited and saying Anandangad. So she said, this is Anandangad. The forest behind me is Anandangad. And Vilvamangalam prostrated her. Okay, I hate talking about this. But in this milieu where religion and caste is so important and unfortunately important, I have to say this. She was a Polai Stri. Polai Stris were considered to be untouchable. And he, a sage, not just a Brahmin, but a learned, enlightened sage, fell at her feet and said, you are my Guru. You have shown me what I need to know. What is Guru except somebody who gives you what you need to know? So, namaskaram panita. And then he went into the forest. And so he said, because it's a thick forest, and he said, so he shouted out, you promised me that you will see me in Anandangad. I have come to Anandangad. I walked all this way. I've searched for you. Maddeningly I've searched for you. Now, I've kept my part of the bargain. You keep your part of the bargain. Where are you? Upper he heard a sound. And tadak. An ilupa tree fell. And the story is that the head was at Tiruvattar, the body, the Tiruvudal was in Thiruvananthapuram and the feet were in Tripadapuram. So then Vilvamangalam said, I want to do Pradakshinam to you. You're too wide, I'm tired of walking. So what happened is Sri Padmanabha Swami shrunk to 3 times the height of his dand. All of you who have gone to Padmanabha Swami temple, you will see that you cannot see the whole of Sri Padmanabha Swami. You can see Shirasu, Odal, Padam. This is to commemorate that. And even today, the first Naivedyam which is given to Sri Padmanabha Swami is Kannimanga, that is sour mangoes, and it's given in a cheretta, which is a coconut shell. It is still followed. Now, that Sri Padmanabha Swami was there in Thiruvananthapuram. Martandavarma, Anidam Thirunal Martandavarma, who was a maker of modern Travancore, dedicated his entire kingdom to Sri Padmanabha Swami. It was a deed called Tripadi Danam, which is Danam on the consecrated steps of Sri Padmanabha Swami. And since then, the whole of Travancore became Sri Padmanabha Swami's kingdom, and the Maharaja used to rule in the name of Sri Padmanabha Swami. Now, one of Swathi Thirunal's kritis, which is Bhogindra Shayanam, is about the temple. I would like the young ladies to take over.
Bhogindra, Bhogindra, Bhogindra Shayanam, Bhogindra Shayanam, Purukushaladayanam, Purusham Shaswatam Kalaye Bhogindra Shayanam, Vagisha Gaurisha Vasava, Vagisha Gaurisha Vasavadyamara Parivara Bhivandeta Padam Padmanabham Bhogindra Shayanam.
So, Swathi Thirunal was a king, everybody knows that. Swathi Thirunal was a composer, he was a person of literature. But what is the most salient, what is the most important feature about Swathi Thirunal? He was all this. And please remember, he lived up less than the age of 34. Okay? And what is the greatest thing, according to me, about Swathi Thirunal? He did a lot of reforms, okay. But before that, there is something very intrinsically connected with Sri Padmanabha Swami and Swathi Thirunal, which actually happened not as Swathi Thirunal Sri Padmanabha Dasa, but Swathi Thirunal before he was even conceived in his mother's womb. At that time, the Brits were ruling India, as all of us know, and they brought in law. See, when people conquer people, they are the ones who make the laws. The people who they rule over, they can just sort of accept it or fight and either win or fight and get killed. These are the only options. So then there was this law which is called the Doctrine of Lapse. The Doctrine of Lapse said basically that because India was small, more than 500 kingdoms, the Doctrine of Lapse stated that if there was no direct heir to a kingdom, that kingdom would automatically get absorbed into the British Empire, and the royal family or the people lost their right to be independent. I mean, independent under the British. Even that they lost. This was a total absorption into the British Empire. So at that time, the person who was the British representative in then Travancore was somebody called Munro. And Munro, strangely, had this great affinity, let's put it as affinity, for Sri Padmanabha Swami. The story goes that Munro was stuck. He was the British representative. There was no heir to the throne at that time. So, Swathi Thirunal's mother Rani Gauri Lakshmi Bayi was the only queen, not a regent, but the actual queen who ruled Travancore. But she was married. She was not pregnant. Colonel Munro, imagine, is wearing his coat, his frock coat, his shoes and socks. He walked up the steps of the eastern Nada of Padmanabha temple near Padmatirtham. Padmanabha Swami is right in front of him. Padmatirtham is to his right. And the story goes that he knelt on the floor. And he said, "For you, Padmanabha," it must have been very difficult for a British to even say Padmanabha. Uchcharike romba kashtamilya, Padmanabha. But for you, Padmanabha, I am going to say a lie to my masters. And that was so daring of him. He could have lost his life. He said, I am going to say that the queen is pregnant. Until she delivers a baby, we have to see if it's a male child or a female child. If it is a male child, that is a legitimate heir to Travancore. So we have to wait till she delivers a baby. Now when Munro made the statement, the queen was not pregnant. It was a total act of faith, and it was a brave act of faith. So he wrote to his superiors stating all that. So it took about 3 months for the letters to go back and forth. So 3 months later comes the query. Well, what's happened? It's time that she gave birth. Only an elephant has gestation for 22 years. A human being has gestation for 280 days or 10 lunar months. So, hello, what's happened? Again he went to Padmanabha Swami temple. And he said, the Rani has given birth to a boy. And that boy is the rightful heir to Travancore. The Rani had not given birth. That is why Swathi Thirunal Ramavarma has a epithet, that is Garbha Shriman. He who was a Shri, who was a boy in the Garbham or in the womb, much before, and at those days you didn't have sex detection equipment around. So he was born. And when he was born, Swathi Thirunal again has the honor of being taken to the Kodimaram, the flagstaff. He was put there because the boy could not enter even if, like in India, if people give birth, you don't go to temples for, 12 days, 13 days, 16 days, whatever. So Swathi Thirunal could not go in till he was 1 year old. Even today, people of the erstwhile Travancore royal family, the boys, when they attain 1 year of age, they are taken by their mothers, put on a malmal on the Ottakal Mandapam. Ottakal Mandapam is an extension of Sri Padmanabha Swami temples, Sri Kovil, Garbhagriha. And these boys are kept on that. Anything, like even if purse, jewelry, anything, clothes, even if it accidentally falls on the Ottakal Mandapam, it is supposed to be the property of Sri Padmanabha Swami. So they put the mothers of the male children, fortunately only the male children, let me put it that way, put the children on the floor, on the Ottakal Mandapam, and call him Padmanabhadasa, Padmanabhadasa, Padmanabhadasa. This boy has also had that done, when he was 1 year old. But Swathi Thirunal was not, at that time he was not 1 year old and he couldn't go into the temple. It was only the first temple that all the boys had to go to was Padmanabha Swami temple, and you could only go when you were 1 year old. So he was taken up to the flagstaff, he was put there, and he was called Sri Padmanabhadasa 3 times. Then when he attained 1 year on his first birthday, his Amma again took him and called him Sri Padmanabhadasa. So maybe that bandham, that connection between Sri Padmanabhadasa and Swathi Thirunal had happened many janmams ago. I believe in births, And Swathi Thirunal, if you look at his compositions, there are so much, there's so many of them. And, I I mean, I'm a fan of his romantic padams and his varnams, his kirtanams, his stutis. There's a beautiful thing called Ulsava Prabandham. Actually, it is happening once in 4 years. The Navaratri and the Sri Padmanabha Swami temple Ulsavam come together. There are 2 Ulsavams. One is Painguni and the other is Alpachi. And right now, the Ulsavam is going on in Thiruvananthapuram. And he has written a beautiful, series for each day. He has written a shloka and a song. And for example, Kanda Sayakanullilulloru Madam Mandichidum Shobhaye Kandanandaviyannu Lokarathigam Kondadi Vartidave Vandarpu Kudalarku Mohavashata Unda Kirajyatyaho Randamutsavavasare Ruchiparam Pundoranantasane Randamutsavavasare Ruchiparam Pundoranantasane. But I have a connection with a special Vahanam, and that is called the 3rd day's Vahanam, which is Kamala Vahanam. And I was born on the 10th of April 1962, in between the Ulsavam, the summer Ulsavam, and those days it came in the papers, Maharaja does not attend Arat due to domestic inconvenience. From that day to today, okay, and he is witness to that. I have lived up to that title of domestic inconvenience. In fact, my father has stored my name in his mobile phone as DI, domestic inconvenience. Now, please show the beauty of Kamala Vahanam.
ഗൗരി നായകനെങ്കോ കമനി മുന്ന നേത്രമെങ്കോ താരീതേൻ മൊഴിബാലേ ധനപതി എന്നാകിലവൻ ഭൂരി വിരൂപാഗനതോ നീരജനാഭൻ നൂനം നീരജനാവൻ
My brother informs me that today is Kamalavahanam in Thiruvananthapuram. So that's another bonus. Actually, if you look at the range of Swathi Thirunal, and please remember that he did this before the age of 34. Most people at the age of 30 are wondering what to do with the rest of their lives. I am one of them. I am 61, I am still wondering what to do with the rest of my life. Okay. But, and if you look at Swathi Thirunal's outpouring of love, okay, according to me, the greatest thing that Swathi Thirunal ever did, was his love for Padmanabha Swami. Everything else is secondary. Everything else is secondary, because I've also seen, among us, you look at people who really love. Not the technical, I love you, emoji that you send, but you really love. When you really, really love, first of all, you have no time and space to think of negative things, conflicts, anything. You're so obsessed about your love. And I think all of us, some of you are already there who are obsessed about things like that, but there should be, if all of us get obsessed about one thing, it would be wonderful. And please believe me, if you don't believe me, I'll demonstrate it. All of us, everybody in this room is an inherent musician. You don't believe me? You say, தாளம் வலிக்குது, ஸ்வரம் வராதுன்னு எல்லாம் சொல்ற இல்லையா? I'll tell you one thing. Put your hand on your heart. See how it beats. Tak, ka, tak, ka, tak, ka. It's gone on for how many years without ஒரு செகண்ட் கூட தாளம் வலிக்காம எத்தனை வருஷமா போயிருக்கு? This is an artist. An artist is not somebody who sits on this side of the mic. You are all artists. The problem is that we don't realize it. It took a Prasanna Ramaswamy to chavi me to come and sit here and do this in front of you. See? And also there is a mudra called Anahata Mudra. Cover your ears with your thumbs, your eyes, your nose, and just do your breathing through your mouth. You hold that mudra for some time. You can go home and try it. You can try it right now also. You will hear your inner sounds. Nadam. That is Nadam. They say that when Paramashiva moved his leg for the first time, it became Tat Dit Dum Nam, the first step of Mridangam. So this art is available to all of us. Whether we recognize it, whether we use it, whether we abuse it, it's up to us. But please, I just want you to listen to this Kriti of Swathi Thirunal, just to look at his precision of Talam, that is Gopalaka Pahima.
Gopalaka Pahima Manisham Gopalaka Pahima Anisham Radamai Gopalaka Pahima Anisham Radamai Gopalaka Pahima Anisham Padaradamai Gopalaka Pahima Anisham Padaradamai Gopalaka Pahima Anisham Tava Padaradamai Gopalaka Pahima Manisham Tava Padaradamai Gopalaka Pahima Anisham Anisham Papa Vimochana Papa Vimochana Pavitaradinada Pada Pallava Papa Vimochana Pavitaradinada Pada Pallava Tana Tarijam Tarita Darita Dittilana Diranadana Tana Tarijam Tarita Darita Dittilana Diranadana Ditlam Kirdaga Jam Jam Ditlam Kirdaga Jam Jam Ditlam Kirdaga Jam Jam Gopalaka Pahima Manisham Tava Padaradamai Gopalaka Pahima Anisham Anisham
Swathi Thirunal could have worshipped Sri Padmanabha in so many ways. Onkara Rupa Kamaniya Padaravinda Shri Vanchi Bhupa Kuladevata Vishwarupa Sheshe Shayana Shiva Pujana Patmahasta Sri Padmanabha Mamadehi Karavalambam. Okay. Then this slokam, which almost all of you, I'm sure all of you have, I'm almost sure all of you know it. If not, you have definitely heard it. Shantakaram Bhujagasayanam Patmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasadrisham Mekhavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmin Kandam Kamalanayanam Yogirhit Dhyanagamyam Vande Vishnum Bhava Bhayaharam Sarvalogaika Nadham. This is part of the Vishnu Sahasranama, right? Now, Swathi Thirunal. He's a king. There's a temple. There's an infrastructure, so to speak, to have this kind of very structured puja. But what did Swathi Thirunal do? He did that. He also opted to worship or to love Padmanabha Swami in a way which is unique. Any kalakar, any true kalakar, whether he or she or he, okay, let me put it that way. She or he is a painter, dancer, musician, sculptor, whatever it is, writer, any kalakar, he or she, whatever they do might be contemporary, but its relevance is eternal. For example, Nidhishala Sukhama, Ramuni Sannidhi Seva Sukhama, Tyagarajas, I think, okay. Now that, it is as valid then as it is now? Which gives you greater happiness? Is it money? Of course, nowadays people say, Nidhisala Bodham, we don't want Ramani Sanni. I can't even talk about drama. I better shut up. So this is the thing. And what Swathi Thirunal, this is one of his padams which he wrote. And I would like to, I am emoting it and singing it. Please forgive me. See, I must. My brother Ashwath Thirunal Ramavarma is a singer. Okay, I am his Ekalabhya, because he used to actually practice, sweat it out, and he used to sing. And I used to walk in the verandas, hear something, and pick up like that. And unfortunately for the people around me, people who live around me, unlike Dronacharya, Raghu did not ask me for my choral. Therefore, I can sing. And he is not here to hear also, so that I can doubly sing. Okay. And I will not say that I am his student. Actually, before I learned so much Tamil, one person who knows, I shall not mention names, who spoke Tamil said, Unga Shariram Parvaile. Now, you know what I heard it as? Unga Shariram Parvaile. So I thought, oh my God, he's saying not bad. Suddenly I felt 20 kilos lighter, it's like a slim beauty floating around. On Shariram Parvaile, okay, not even good, just okay. That's human ego. Enna panla? So please put up with this, okay? For the next bit, I have run it past Prasanna. She is the guinea pig. If you don't like her, blame her.
Sit here.
Now I have to go up to the stage. I have to go up to the stage and torture all of you.
Okay.
Induyutayam nishayam Induyutayam nishayam Induyutayam nishayam Innendiradiravam Manda Marutanum Charu Manda Marutanum Charu Manda Marutanum Charu Malaye Jale Panavum Kunta Jati Sumangalum Kunta Jati Sumangalum Komala Isaki Kunta Jati Sumangalum Komalangi Saki Sundaran Loka Sundaran Triloka Sundaran Triloka Sundaran Varanyal Aye Cholga Kimme Prayojanam Aliveni Yendu Chevu Nalina Miri Sri Padmanabhan Nalina Miri Sri Padmanabhan Iha Vannilallo Haliveni Haliveni Yendu Chevu
This is Swathi Thirunal's Padam. Now, any one of you who have gone to cafe day, barista, he has not looked at it. Blue ticks were like. Thank you. Emoji, hearts emoji. Delete. Erase. Tirumbi. You're looking around. You're so restless. See, you love him. You really love him. That's why you're so tense. Otherwise, what does it matter? So, oh, he's seen it. Blue ticks. But the ticks are only blue in the phone. The ticks are not blue because he's not sending you a throbbing heart back. He's not saying hi. He's not even saying how's up? What's it? What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah. What's up? That's it. So then, what happens? You are as broken-hearted now as a Swati's Naika. Then the feeling is exactly the same. The way you present it, the literature, what you do. You might send, you might send love letters like what is it? Shakuntala did on a lotus leaf, but the emotion is the same. And please understand, this is the relevance of Swathi. Okay, fine, this guy is not replying, he's seen, and then the worst you see, he's online. Oh my God, at least he saw it and he disconnected. Parvailla, he's online, what do you do? Ding, 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 ding. Da. Now because you call women also, da. I sent him that message, he's seen it, okay. He's seen it. He saw it, I don't know, 10 minutes back. I am in this cafe coffee day. Da, should I call him, da? Should I call him? Haliveni endu chevu. Swathi Thirunal was married to Narayani Pillai, who passed away. Okay, then he got married to somebody called Neelamma. And then one of the controversies of Swathi Thirunal's life about his quote unquote, please, quote unquote, immorality. Before I go further, I would like to quote something to all of you. That is Sri Adi Shankara's Saundarya Lahari opens with the shloka Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitum Na Che Devam Devo Na Khalu Kushala Spanditum Api Atastvam Aradhyam Hariharya Virinchadi Phirapi Pranandum Svotumma Katha Magrada Punya Prabhavati. Right? Now, what does it say? Without Shiva and Shakti, nothing moves. Who is Shiva? He is Paramashiva. He is everything. Who is she? Shakti. Ayo, Shakti mele pesina enaku paityo I do. I will tell you one thing. Why I said that I am happy that the girls of the Travancore royal family was not put on the Ottakal Mandapam as slaves is because I belong to Kali. And as far as when I speak about Kali, I can only think of her face. And when I think of her face, all I can do is to hold her face like this and look into her eyes. When I look into her eyes, what do I see? I see me. And I look at the eyes of me in her eyes. And then what do I see? I see her. It's an endless chain. Some of you, bedroom eyes, bedroom boys. It's like, and I've written a book called Mahisha. It's about Mahisha's love for Bhagavati, which everybody knows about. But is Bhagavati is she made of stone? Or is she made of daru? Or is she made of metal, that she's completely unmoved by this outpouring of love, where Mahisha says, I'm prepared to die without you. And he actually carries out what he says. Not, I can't live without you. Okay da, nee pona okay, unga friend anipidu. Nothing like that. Original sneham which goes beyond. And any genuine sneham, anything, for whatever, it will always go beyond you. You can't control it. I know that it's a very unfashionable statement to make, especially as a woman, that you can't say that you're uncontrollably, love controls you, you don't control love. Sorry, I am an old-fashioned woman. I'm an old-fashioned old woman, 61 ஆச்சு. இனிமே 60 எல்லாம் பார்க்கவே மாட்டேன் இந்த வாழ்க்கையில், என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? So, Swathi Thirunal, to show his love, he wrote this beautiful, beautiful piece. It's come in many forms. It's come in movie forms. I've heard it sung in Navaratri Mandapam. Alarshara Paritapam.
जलजा बंधु भूमि जलधि आणयुनु जलजा बंधु भूमि जलधि आणयुनु जलजा बंधु भूमि जलधि आणयुनु मलय मारुतं मेटो मम मनम् अतितराम्बत भीमशमायि सखि मलय मारुतं मेटो मम मनम् अतितराम्बत भीमशमायि सखि अलर्शर परितापम् ചൊൽവതിൻ നളിവേണി പണി ബാനേ അലർശര പരിതാപം അലർശര പരിതാപം अलशर परितापम अलशर परितापम
So, comes Swathi Thirunal's love. In movies, she is shown as Sugandhavalli. Actually, what happened? So the legends say. Swathi Thirunal wrote a piece called Sumasayaka. It's a padam which has to be danced. Varnam. Okay. It's a varnam which has to be danced. Sorry. It is a varnam which has to be danced. Okay. And it has to be danced by somebody like Anita Ratnam. It has to be. I want to see it. I want to see it. Seeing is believing. So then, soon, sometime. You know how beautiful it is. You know how elaborate it is. It's like, sensuousness, seduction is an art. It's not something vulgar. Okay? It's not like one boy, girl coming together and one train coming. And then that's it. That's how it's shown. Okay? Or it's something dirty. It's not like that. Seduction is an art. Okay? And Sumasayaka is like that. Samayam bahubadaya sagi. Oh, just that one phrase. Just that musical phrase. You can, like I play with it in my mind. Unfortunately, I cannot sing as I have demonstrated. I cannot dance as I have demonstrated. But I can definitely play with it in my mind, and I do. Now, what happened is that Swathi Thirunal wrote this piece. And like any good artist, you want as Prasanna was speaking, you want your art to come alive. So he said, please, and he was a king, right? He said, Aadi Kamiki, show me, dances and show me. And many people came and tried. But he was never satisfied. You know Swathi Thirunal's deep association with the Tanjavur quartet. That is cooperation of a different level, completely different level. So, people were coming, and of course, a king's composition, those days, when it was monarchy, even though it was monarchy under the British, everybody would want to flatter the king. Ayo, Thirumanasukka picture, I will dance, my daughter. Lots of fathers have other interests also. My daughter will dance your composition. You see, so that happened and it was not working out. He was like, okay, there were lots of competent dancers, but they were not making the grade. What was in Swathi Thirunal's mind about Sumasayaka? None of them were able to produce to his satisfaction. And every creator has the right to, the final seal of approval is the creators. It's not the audience or anybody else. So what happened is that there were these sisters. One is called Sundara Parvati. The other is called Sundara-Lakshmi. Sundara Parvati was already married. I think she was pregnant when she came. But Sundara-Lakshmi came to Travancore. And she studied with the Nattuvanars of Tanjavur. And she practiced it to perfection. Of course, Swathi Thirunal used to hold courts where you could, if you could dance or produce art, he was a great patron of all that. So this girl came and she danced Sumasayaka the way Swathi Thirunal had envisaged it in his mind. And when he saw what is in his mind being produced before his eyes, he was ecstatic. And after the performance, he said, what do you want? And you know what she said? I want you. Excellent taste on her part. Come on, if you are a dancer, come on, imagine a composer composing just for you. Think of the ecstasy of that. And how much more would you give as a dancer to a composer who composes just for you and who says, you have done it. You have satisfied me. I would have given 10 kingdoms if I had. So that was Sundar Lakshmi, and that was their level of cooperation. Whether they had a sexual relationship or not, I don't know. Even if they had, it's worth it. Because like Shiva and Shakti creating this universe, when a composer and a dancer creates a world, it's beautiful. It's only people who have filth in their mind who say it's smutty. It's not smutty. Then you have to call creation smutty. The entire creation is smutty. It's up to you. Each one of us. What is morality? What is art? What is love? Every artist is slightly mad, because every artist somewhere is an optimist. If deep down, even when you're singing the most, as she beautifully danced Alarshara Paritapam, even when you are you are lamenting that your lover is not there, there is the hope behind it that he will come. So every artist at one level or the other is very, very, very positive. He or she thinks that his or her art can transcend the fights which are going on. And my God, we love conflict. Today, 2023, human beings are the ustads of conflicts. I am not going into any political thing, please, hello. I am not going to the world situation. I will tell you a simple thing. Our shariram, there are pancha koshams in our shariram. Okay, Annamaya kosham, what all we see. Okay, Manomaya kosham, Pranamaya kosham, Vijnanamaya kosham, Anandamaya kosham. Anandamaya kosham, very grudgingly, philosophers say, okay, Anandamaya kosham is God. Okay, rest are all. Now, tell me one thing. I would like anybody and from the audience to educate me also. Isn't it with these two eyes that you see? You see good things, you see bad things, you enjoy. These 2 ears you hear. With this tongue, which you can use both ways. You can use it as a sword. I'm an ustad at that. As Kshatriya, we are supposed to be ustads at weapons. My only weapon is my tongue. And as my dear family will tell you, most of all my husband, isn't it, don't you, when you eat, don't you use your tongue? When you smell, aren't you using your panchendriyams every second of the day? A mother hugs a child. Does she think, oh, you see, does she think I am a creator? This is my creation. Does she do that? So why is it that we are forever denigrating our body? Why is it that we are always creating a mind, soul, body, Atma, as if they are pieces, as if we are collages? We are not collages. We are, each of us are, however warped, however broken, each of us are a whole. Every one of us. Okay. And see, if you take Swathi Thirunal, was a total lover of Sri Padmanabha. He has created some of the most marvelous pieces on Bhagavati, which is sung in the Navaratri Mandapam. Even today, he set up the music. Inneki idu paadno first day, idu second day, idu appadi. Concerts irukku Navaratri Mandapathile, ippavum dance irukku. Devadasi, it's supposed to be a term of abuse. Devdasi, the root of the word is div. You know what div means? To give anandam. And Devdasis were the treasury. They were the holders of our art, of our music, of our dance, of our culture. And they were removed by law, by the British, which was a very clever move on their part, but we lost it. Swathi Thirunal's Kriti about, no, it's not a Navaratri Kriti, but his Kriti about Bhagavati.
पाहि जग जननी पाहि जग जननी सन्ततं पाहि जग जननी सन्ततं पाहि जग जननी सन्ततं पङ्के रोहासन जाये अम्बा पाहि जग जननी सन्ततं पङ्के रोहासन जाये अम्बा पाहि जग जननी मोहनदरगात्री मुनि समुदयगे मोहनदरगात्री मुनि समुदयगे मगनीय सुचरिते मानित गुणवासे मगनीय सुचरिते मानित गुणवासे मगनीय सुचरिते मानित गुणवासे पाहि जग जननी सन्ततं पङ्के रोहासन जाये अम्बा पाहि जग जननी
In my life, my first recollection of South Indian classical music is Raghu when he was a kid, telling my father, ಮುದುಶಿವಿ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲಡಿ ನಡಿವೇನೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡಿರುವ ಎನಗೆ ಕರದಯವು ನಾನ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಬಡವನ್ನು ನಾನ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಪರದೇಸಿ ನಾನ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಬಡವನು. This is a Purandaradasa Kriti. Who was a kid? He used to say, Acha, Kukkushi Vekyu, Muddu Shivi. He made it Kukkushi Vekyu. That was my first recollection about South Indian classical music. And the person who really was there in all our lives is my mother's mother. She was a total rasika. She used to play the veena for 5 hours. Excellent talam. You could not fool her musically as well as in many other ways. So Kalyana Krishna Bhagavatar, she used to call him Talayattu Gutti because when he used to play the veena, he used to go with his head. Okay. And Chembangudi Srinivasa here, one day, you know what she did? I mean, he was just coming into her room. I was there. My mother was there. my grandmother was there, and my great grandmother said, "Hey, our little pudding one no." What she meant is that has that little pudding come, okay? And Chembangudi walked in just at that time. And you know what my great grandmother did? She said, "Oh, Kolande, me, okay, Kolandeki pudding romba pudikkum. So ungale little pudding nu koopta." I was like, "Hello, what happened?" So every time after that, whenever Chembangudi used to meet me, he used to say, "Ungal enne little pudding nu koopte." I'm like, yeah. If you say so, if you don't say so. See? And this is one thing which Chitra Thirunal Balarama Varma, my great uncle, is a person who adored Padmanabha Swami the way I imagine Swathi Thirunal did. And he told me, he's the one who told all of us. He used to tell us stories. He used to tell us stories of Krishna, which every kid will relate to immediately. And that is how we learnt the Puranams. Suddenly, when we were in our 20s, we found that we were familiar with all these stories, thanks to Ponnamman. We used to call him Ponnamman. Ponnana Tangam. Ponnamman means golden uncle. So thanks to his stories. And he told me that Swathi Thirunal has written the story in verse. And that is a story of Rama, and that is Bhavayami Raghurama Ragamalika.
Kanakamrugadhara kalamaricha haramiha. Kanakamrugadhara kalamaricha haramiha. Sujana vimata dashasya krita janaka janvishanam. Sujana vimata dashasya krita janaka janvishanam. Krita janaka janvishanam. Anagham patira sangatanjaneya nabomani. Tanuja sakya karam vali tanu talanamisham pa magare sanida sajima gare sarima pamanida sasarida papa magare sanida sarima panida mapada gari sada risada sada gari nida magare sada. Bhavayami Raghuramam bhavya sukunaramam. Bhavayami Raghuramam. Kalitanuta setu bandam kalanisima pishitasana. Kalitanuta setu bandam kalanisima pishitasana. Dalanam urudashakanta vidaram atidhiram. Dalanam urudashakanta vidaram atidhiram. Jwalanapota janakasuta sahitaya saketam. Jwalanapota janakasuta sahitaya saketam. Vilasita pattabhishekam. Vilasita pattabhishekam. विश्वपालं पद्मनाभं विलसितपट्टाभिषेकं विश्वपालं पद्मनाभं रे मरे मपनि पमपनि सा रे सनि पप मम रे सरे मरे मपनि पमपनि सा रे सनि पप मम रे स रे पम रे स नि स रे म प ध प सा नि ध नि ध प म ग रे स नि ध स रे म ग रे स रे ग ध प ग रे स रे ग प ध स रे स ध प ग रे स नि स म ग म नि ध नि प ध नि स ग रे स ध रे स ध ग रे नि ध म ग रे स ध पावयामि रघुरामं भव्य सुगुणरामं भावयामि
Actually, music, dance, art, sculpture, gods, stories, they've taken me a very long way. I've loved exploring on, with no particular itinerary or agenda, just go and see places. And one of the places I fell in love was Kashi. And Swathi Thirunal has composed this beautiful piece called Vishweshwara. I'm going to put my feet up, okay, because it's much more comfortable like this. So I was actually sitting like this in Kashi. Nobody I know anywhere around me, okay, except the Pujari. Pujari looks at me as a gone case. Madrasi. Okay, Madrasi, madam. So I am the Madrasi, madam. So I generally, wheedle my way through, and then I was sitting there, in if you've been to Kashi, if you, not in the Sanctum Sanctorum, because you can actually sit in the Sanctum Sanctorum, but just outside, it's a little behind. And I was, it's evening, beautiful, it's the beginning of winter. So I was like, okay. It's like, I was thinking of Swathi, I was thinking of, my God, he has written about him, Vishweshwara Darshana Kala. Chalamana tum Kashi. So I was just sitting there, and I was humming. Vishweshwara Darshana Kara. Vishweshwara Darshana Kara. Actually, I was singing to Shiva. Chalamana tum Kashi. Vishweshwara Darshana Kara. Then suddenly, through the corner of my eyes, I see a lady, slightly older lady, wearing a settu mundu. She's obviously with her family. So I can hear them. Swathi Thirunal, Swathi Thirunal, Swathi Thirunal. Okay. And it's like, okay. Swathi Thirunal. And so then I was wearing a churidar, okay. So with my motatale and my kada, I look like a North Indian. And so I could hear them debate whether they wanted to, whether they should come and ask me, are you, why Swathi Thirunal? Because unfortunately, everybody sings Tyagaraja. I mean, I can't say unfortunately, I'm sorry. Everybody sings Tyagaraja Swami's and the Trinity's compositions, but much, much less people sing Swathi Thirunal compositions, which I'm very sad about. I think everybody's, there's space, especially with gentlemen like this sitting there. There's in the universe, there is space for everybody. I think Swathi Kritis should also come, And so I was looking at them, and I didn't want to speak to them because I was in I want to talk to Shiva mood, whether he talks back to me or otherwise Abhishya. So I sat there, okay, and I was singing this. I was quite loud also. It's not very crowded. It is after that Saptarishi Arati. Then, Saptarishi Arati, everybody goes there. Then after that, there's a lull. In every temple, there are periods of lots of people and not so many people. So I looked at them and I looked at them and I pretended I'm not looking at them. I said, so I was singing properly by my standards, okay. So I said, Vishweswara Darasanagara Salamana Tumaka Ziga 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 Adi Vishweswara Darasanagara Padmanabha Kamalanayala Kamalanayala Padmanabha Kamalanayala Padmanabha. Then I could say Malayali, which is like she's not a Malayali. And they walked off. Mission accomplished. Okay, I was feeling so happy because I was not in the mood to. Sometimes, that's why I travel only with people who are in sync with. When they want silence, I keep quiet. Even with my loud mouth, I keep quiet. I'm like, okay, Prasanna. Okay. And I also had the good fortune of dancing, okay, in Kailas. Okay. And this is Purva Janma. What is it? Bhagyam. Okay, so when dancers say that I dance in the Rashtrapati Bhavan, Kalakshetra, very nice. I went to Russia, I went to Europe, I went with a tour. Oh, very good. Not to you. It's not about you, okay, Anita? It's not about you. It's about other people, who boast. Okay. And after I danced in Kailasam. They're like, what? No, I danced in Kailasam. What? I danced in Kailasam. And you know what I believe to sing. As I discovered 10 minutes earlier, it's very difficult to sing and dance. You can either sing or you can dance. Very difficult. I can't breathe and the breath control. I used to smoke a lot of cigarettes. Okay, I've given it up. Now I'm a good girl. Andakalam. And so then at 17,000 feet, if you try and sing Shankara Srigiri, that is what I wanted to dance the whole thing, okay, but I could dance only. So I sang Shankara Srigiri, Natha Prabhu, Nritta Virajita Chitta Sabhave, and then Takita Kita Timi Shruti Gati Baje, Padumanabha Mana Kamala Viraje, Shankara Srigiri, Natha Prabhu. And believe me, there were some unfortunate souls with me. We also recited the Lalita Sahasranama. After doing this, what I literally did is I fell on 2 prongs of oxygen because I was Shankara Srigiri. Ayo Namashivaya. Eranda poga time le Namashivaya, Samashivaya ponna ange poidu straight and it's also easier. See, you are 17,000 feet closer to him. Yeah. So, but I will tell you one thing. It was an experience which was out of the world. And when I am talking about out of the world experience, and now I am concluding this. Now, Swathi lived, Swathi wrote, Swathi passed away. Everybody knows that. History books tell you that. Swathi had been ailing he was mentally very down because he could not, he was an artist. You put an artist on a gaddi or a throne. It's disaster for the throne, it's disaster for the artist. But it's greater disaster for the artist. Because the artists please understand me, all these artists, they're very hardy, they're tough, but they're also so delicate. They're like cobwebs. Have you seen the strength of cobwebs? When I was a kid, I used to lie down on the grass and watch cobwebs and, dew collecting in them. It's so strong, but it's so fragile also. All artists are like that. Their minds, they cry. They cry for things they cannot help. They laugh for the slightest bit of things. That is why they are artists. That is why they are, people say, See, because normal people Normal people cannot take their emotion to that level, and unless you are emotionally connected, please believe me, there is zero art. You can have competence, you can do a 3D graphics, but you cannot paint. You can follow a rhythm, but you cannot sing. So artist avanga uir kadavule. Artist oda uir enarka, it is irrespective of anything, it is kadavule. And kadavule naka, there is once you start loving an art at that level, then you forget everything else. Many times I want to ask the creator, enna ulagam pannirke neenga, please, hello. But then that is the kudrat. That's a beautiful word. That's a law of nature. Yeah. So like that, Swathi he's not happy. And he's written this Marajanaka Shubhacharita Akila Lokana. He's like, what are you people? You British. You are talking about, normal people and their rules. But I am bothered about him who rules all of us. That is Patnavaswami. And he was not taking care of his health. Swathi somewhere faded away. He did not die. He let go. Gently, gently, gently. And I think he let go his life because he was holding on to the Charanara-vindam of Patnavaswami. When you have a better thing to hold on to, what is this? Comes back to the old Nitishala Sukhama. You see? And the story goes that Swathi had been ill for 2-3 days. He was very polite, very courteous because his mother had passed away when he was very young. So his mother's sister, he was very courteous to her. He loved his brother who knew a lot of medicine. So he used to let only his brother and his mother's sister visit him in the last days. And Swathi's brother met him 2-3 times on the day before he passed away. And the story goes that Swathi went to bed, everybody went to bed. He was not well, Swathi went to sleep. Next day morning, the Nambi of Patnavaswami temple, Nambi is the one who opens the door. The Nambi of Patnavaswami Kovil opened the door at dawn. And he was shocked because in the sanctum sanctorum, he saw Swathi Thirunal standing with his hands folded by Padmanabhaswami's feet. The Shakti Yantram of Sri Padmanabhaswami is at his feet. Every deity has a Mula Shakti, where everything is concentrated. That is at his feet. And the Nambi was horrified because he was a Kshatriya. Kshatriya enters the sanctum sanctorum. Ashuddhamachi needed punyaham, purification. So he didn't know. And of course, he is the king also. So what do you say? You can't tell him you can't order the king like you order a ordinary person. How dare you know? So what happened is that he left the door open. He opened only the central door and he walked in. That is when he saw Swathi Thirunal. He walked out to the Ottakal Mandapam wondering what to do. Appa he heard the Kootamani. Kootamani is the bells which were rung when the king passed away. That is when he realized that actually Swathi Thirunal had merged into his beloved. And that, I think, is the most fitting end to Swathi Thirunal. Somewhere he is still there in Padmanabhaswami's temple. Swathi Thirunal is such an artist who has encouraged people to write. Vadanam kamalam cha nayanam kamalam karadvayam kamalam cha padam kamalam nabhi kamalam kamala nari dhamam kamalasanastam kamaniyam ananta shayanam. That is a decent composition. Pambum mel chayunnadaru nabhiyil pooladaru ശംഭുവിൻ്റെ തലമേലെ കൈതൂക്കിയിട്ടിട്ട് പൂജ നടത്തുന്നതാര്, നിത്യപൂജ നടത്തുന്നതാര്, വഞ്ചിക്കു ശ്രീ പത്മനാഭൻ, കൊച്ചിക്കു പൂർണ്ണത്രയേശൻ, പാലാഴിക്കടലിൽ നടുവി വിളങ്ങുന്ന ശ്രീദേവി ഭൂദേവി നാഥൻ. That is at another level. Now I am saying this with Prasanna's permission. Okay? Vishnu sleeping on a lake and Vishnu sleeping on a snake, surrounded by a milky lake. Vishnu sleeping on a snake. Tell me, is my bhakti fake? Answer me for heaven's sake. Vishnu sleeping on a snake and Vishnu sleeping on a snake. Lame Padmanabhartha illaya. The moon which is reflected in the gutter, in the sea, the moon which is her face. Ellame moon tha illaya. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you very much. We will conclude with the Mangalam. Please join us in singing the Mangalam. In Navaratri Mandapam, we sing this Mangalam, and anybody who knows it sings with us. Please.
That Kamalam composition is by Lakshmi, what she sang. No. She has some other beautiful compositions, one in Shankarabaranam, which speaks about Shankara.
Very nice. It was nice. Excellent. I think one of you.
What is on Mike and Kylie?
I think one of you.
Shayino Namamangalam Paramajanapi Iha Kirtidam Dahati Papmana Jalamanjasa Bhuvishikiyata Daru Sanjayam Bhujagashayino Namamangalam Bhujagashayino Namamangalam Bhujagashayino Namamangalam Namamangalam Namamangalam.
Thank you all. I just need you to stay for 1 minute.
Please be seated. The vote of thanks probably will be better to give such a beautiful way.
You should do the vote.
No. I think one of you put this.
Yeah. Give it to the dancer.
I'm a host. So
No. But you invited us. Come, please.
Anita, can you say a few words about how she talked? Would you like to say? So it's getting... A big clap for Lakshmi. The series itself is called as the Katha Prasangham. Have you ever seen anything she referred? How spontaneous she is in telling everything, either it is a slokam or a singing or a dance. It is so much imbibed in your body. I really think one of the finest talks that I have heard here, and it was so wonderful, so full in every respect. You definitely deserve. I look forward to hear you more often here. Wonderful. Thank you for all of you. coming in a big number.